The trial just wrapped for a woman named Tracey Grist. This is the matriarch and grandmother who had her son-in-law murdered so that her daughter wouldn't have to deal with the noise of child custody, I guess. Let's go over the names. At the very top, we have Tracey Grist. Okay, she's the matriarch, she's the grandmother. Her daughter is Kate. Okay, Kate is married to Matt. All right, that's her husband. This is the victim. Okay, Kate's brother is Kevin. He's the shooter. Okay, we have Tracey, her daughter Kate, Kate's husband Matt, Kate's brother, and Tracey's son, Kevin. Now, Kate was in a very unhappy marriage. She had been continually complaining to her mom, to her sisters, to anyone who would listen about how terrible her marriage was, about how much Matt was drinking, about how miserable she was, about her constant affairs. Yes, I said her constant affairs, not his, her constant affairs. She was always saying, this is it, I'm going to leave him, oh, I just want out, I don't want to do this anymore, and yet she had never quite pulled the trigger, so to speak. Now, collectively, because this family can't do anything by themselves, Kate and her family decide the time has come, and they come up with a plan to get Kate away from California, where she lives, to Utah, to Tracey's house, and from there, they can regroup, and she can officially, she being Kate, leave Matt. Kate and Matt were pretty broke, so Kate could not pull off this plan on her own. Kate and Matt only had one truck and it barely functioned. It wouldn't make it out there. They didn't even have a credit card, which you need to rent a car. So Tracey took out a credit card in Kate's name for her through Costco. And can I just say, why you gotta bring Costco into this? She shipped said credit card to Kate, then Kate rented a car. She then packed up her stuff, packed up the kids, and then started driving to Utah. Once she was well on her way, she then sent a text to Matt telling him essentially, I'm leaving you. Now there's a really important detail here, which is that before Kate left for Utah, she put a tracker, an AirTag, in Matt's car. Now she says she did this because she was scared of Matt. She claims that she was a woman in domestic violence. And she couldn't really pinpoint what exactly she was afraid that he was going to do. So maybe she was afraid of him, or maybe she had put that in the car because she already had a plan to... And just to give you an idea how enmeshed this family is, she shared the tracking of that AirTag with her entire family, and all of them were tracking his location and texting each other about it, giving each other constant updates. As soon as Matt realizes what has happened and that his family is gone, he immediately works on getting them back. He's talking to Kate, he's talking to his kids, he wants them back, he loves them, he does not want his family to fall apart. And Kate is talking back to him super lovey-dovey. They actually pretty immediately make up. They do. And they start coming up with a plan to get Kate and the kids back to California. And we can see all of the text messages, all of the plans that she was making with Matt were complete lies, okay? Matt would say, hey, I can send you money for a rental car, okay? He would make reservations. She would cancel them. He would say, okay, well, can you borrow this? Well, can you do this? I will send money. I will put money in your account. She would find ways to weasel out of all of them. She even lied at one point and said that she had sprained her ankle, okay? So she couldn't drive. And we can see in text back and forth between her and her mom, Tracey, that they were laughing. They were laughing at Matt and the fact that he was falling for all of this. And what Tracey will say is that they were just stalling. They were just trying to get more time so that Kate could come up with a plan. Even though in some of their texts, they were saying, we just need to get him out here. Now, why did they need to get him out there? Because they had a plan to kill him. Kate will say later that that was plan B. It was plan A. That's why there was an AirTag. That's why she made up with him right away. And that's why she was stalling with all these tactics and why she couldn't make it back on her own. So the plan that Matt and Kate eventually came up with was that Matt would drive out to Utah to pick them up, even though he was pretty sure his truck was not going to make it. In fact, he was certain his truck was not going to make it, but he didn't see any other alternative because Kate certainly wasn't helping to come up with a solution, nor was her family. Now, the day before Matt was set to drive up, Kate met with a divorce attorney, and that divorce attorney essentially told her, you kind of kidnapped Matt's kids, so you're gonna have to go back to California. And that's when they decided, you know what, full steam ahead. Kate at this point started laying it on really thick. I can't wait to see you. I miss you so much. And Matt was saying the same thing. I love you. I can't wait to see the kids, which really works against Tracey Grist, who's on trial and says that this was self-defense. They only shot him in self-defense because he came in there with a knife. So Matt leaves California. He's driving to Utah. Kate's entire family is tracking him the entire way, okay? He finally arrives. The first thing he does is he gets a piece of cardboard and he puts it under his truck because his truck has been leaking oil and he doesn't want to stain their driveway. Okay, the second thing he does when he goes into the house is he takes off his shoes. He takes off his shoes. He'd been wearing like those Nike slides type of shoes. He takes them off, you know, because he wants to be respectful in their home. He walks through the house. He sees Tracey in the kitchen. He says, "Where's Kate?" She says, she's upstairs. He starts walking upstairs. The next thing he knows, he's being shot by Kevin. After he is shot, they go to work staging the scene. So they move his body, they go get a knife, they put the knife in his right hand, despite the fact that he is left-handed. And a full 8 minutes later, they call 911. And we know it was a full 8 minutes later because the next door neighbor heard the shots and was actually the first person to call 911. Now, before this video gets too long, obviously the police were suspicious of the circumstances, did not believe that it was self-defense, and they ultimately arrested Kate and Kevin and Tracey for conspiracy and murder. Kate was the first one to speak up and say that she wanted a plea deal. She says it's because she wanted justice for Matt, but do any of us believe that? Kevin went to trial, and he said that this all just happened so fast. It wasn't premeditated. He was found guilty of murder, but not of conspiracy. And Tracey's verdict came back with a guilty verdict of murder and conspiracy. She says that it was all self-defense. Matt came in with a knife in hand, ready to... But I'll let you know when we've got a sentence. Hopefully it's life.